Hello YouTube, and welcome to the fourth edition of our show, Race Car Fabrication and Restoration. My name is Ronnie Humphrey. As you can see, we're here at the shop, and on last show, as you saw, we were able to move the All-Pro Super Late model, get it safe here into the shop. Also the 1966 Nova, got it here, and we have ordered parts for the cars. Matter of fact, just this morning I ordered a brand new body, a brand new 5-star steel body, 1981 Camaro body from 5-star, and that will be here hopefully at the end of the week. We was able to get everything except for the roof, and we were not able to get a trunk and a filler panel, but we'll be able to fabricate that from scratch. And we'll actually probably utilize a stock Camaro roof and a stock Camaro trunk, and we will get that skin put on. But we have everything else, including the nose, the hood, the fenders, the quarter panels, spoiler, front and rear. We're also going to be installing a new bumper on front of that chassis as well. But I should have all of that stuff here in about 3 or 4 days. So the next time you join us on our next show, we will actually start work on that. And we got a lot of welding clean up, and we got to get the new bumper hung on it. So we got a lot of stuff to do to the car. But the first thing is to start trying to hang a body so we can get all the body mounts done. So we'll do that on the next show. Now we also have a lot of parts coming from the Nova. I've got spindles, hubs, got some brakes coming, a lot of steering components, radiator and so forth we're going to need for this car. We do have the motor. We have a brand new crate motor there sitting. That's a 602 crate that we decided to put in this car. It'll be fine for it. And the little 602 steel-headed motor will be fine and do make plenty of horsepower, because like I say, it's not going to be raced, so it'll be fine for that. But while we're waiting on parts to come in, as I told you in one of our first shows, we actually run 3 modifieds out of this shop. One's driven by my son, Ryan Humphrey. That's his car back here, the 115. Then my nephew, Trent Humphrey, runs the 515. Then my son-in-law is named Heath Thompson, married my daughter, obviously. He runs the 54T. And that class is called Pro Mod. I told you a little bit about them in the first show, and we will discuss actually a lot about those cars today, and I'll have some good footage. But we've had a really good year. Ryan won 1 feature this year, and Trent has already won 3 features this year. But most importantly, Trent was able to capture the 2020 Louisiana State Championships held here at Boot Hill Speedway. Obviously a huge win for him, and we're real proud of Trent. And Ryan's done a good job, and Heath has done a good job. They've all had a really good year. All have some wins, including heats. So that's really been cool to see that. So we'll take a closer look at the Pro Modified today. I think you'll enjoy looking at cars. A really neat class. So stay tuned, and we'll be right back with you. Welcome back, YouTube, and as promised, we're going to take a closer look and see exactly what a Pro Mod is. As I was saying earlier, we actually run 3 of these cars under the Humphrey Racing banner, and it's a really neat class. A good friend of ours we've raced with way back to the 70s, Gene Boyder, who owns and operates Architect Speedway up in Vivian, Louisiana. He came up with this class about, I guess, 12, 13 years ago, and he saw the need for a limited modified, basically a B mod, if you will, the opportunity to get these cars back on the track. Because when the A mods started following the technology of the dirt late models and all swapped to 4-link rear suspension, there were tons of 3-link cars just sitting in the pasture not doing anything. And this was a great way to get those cars back on the track. So Gene came up with the idea of taking these older modifieds, and you could get them back on the track with, by only allowing the 3-link rear suspension versus the 4-link. Now this car here actually it's a Shaw by Landers, and it was a 4-link car that we converted back to a 3-link, but you have to run 3-link, so you can either take an original 3-link chassis, or you can take a 4-link and convert it back, but it has to be a 3-link rear suspension. No quick change. You have to run a 9-inch Ford floater. So it's really kind of a throwback to what the original IMCA style modified was. But 2 big changes. One thing, obviously, you can see there's no roof on the car. I like that. We run a big sail panel here on the left-hand side. But the biggest factor on these cars is the tires. We run Hoosier F45 asphalt pull-offs. The tires cannot be altered. They cannot be softened. They cannot be grooved. And the cool thing about this, these tires are abundant, and they only cost you $30, $35 per tire. And you can run a tire for many nights. We have some friends that's actually run the whole season on like 8 to 9 tires. So when you combine everything, it's 3-link on slicks. It's a really neat class, and it allows some of these older cars to get back out. The theory behind the motor on the class is that with the slicks, you don't need a whole lot of horsepower to hook them up. However, we do run, in our cars, we run big cubic inch motors. There are some people who run some smaller cubic inch motors, but this is a motor that was built by my brother, Gene Humphrey. He has built all of our family motors for really since the 70s. But he's very dependable, good motor builder. This is aluminum head small block Chevrolet, and it produces, I'd guess, around easily 600 plus horsepower, but a roller motor. And the smaller cubic inch motors some of the guys run do fine. If the track slicks up, that's fine. But I always like having the big motor, and especially when the track rubbers up and really gets hammer down time in the feature. These cars are bad fast, and I want every bit of horsepower I can get. And you'll see here in the video just how fast they are and how the traction actually good. You wouldn't think it would work on a slick tire, but it works very well. But anyway, we have some video here right following this segment, and you can watch some of the video and just see what it's like for us to go as a family and go and beat and bang on a modified on a Saturday night. And you'll see some of the lows and you'll see some of the highs. And so I hope you'll enjoy this video. So we'll be right back with you after that segment, and we'll see you in just a minute. Welcome back, YouTube. I hope you enjoyed just that small glimpse of what we do around here on Saturday night for fun here in North Louisiana, as my son Ryan and my nephew Trent and my son-in-law Heath, as they compete in these pro mods. And it's a lot of fun seeing them carry on a tradition that my family started way back in 1975 when we first started dirt racing. But we appreciate you watching this episode of Race Car Fabrication and Restoration. Hope that you'll join us next week. We should have a big pile of parts for the Nova and for the Camaro as well. And we'll get in there neck deep and we'll start the restoration on these two cars. So appreciate you watching. I would encourage you again to subscribe to our channel. It's free. Don't have to pay anything. Just whenever you subscribe, YouTube will be able to communicate with you and let you know when our latest videos are released. They'll just send you a message and let you know. We appreciate you watching. Hope you guys have a fantastic week, and we'll see you next time on Race Car Fabrication and Restoration. Take care.